Hello students, I hope you all are doing fine. Welcome to Shimaf Academy. Today we are going to study the chapter Algebra, and our learning outcome for today is we are going to learn how to solve linear equation in three variables by the method of elimination. There are many questions. What do you mean by linear equations? We are going to study what do you mean by three variables, and we are going to learn this method called elimination method. Stay tuned. So firstly, let's ask ourselves, what is algebra? Algebra is a field of maths where we are finding unknown quantities or unknown solutions, any of that sort. Basically, algebra has something to do where we have to find unknown quantities. So suppose if I have gone grocery shopping and I buy total of 15 fruits. Okay, I buy total of 15 fruits, out of which I buy 5 apples and some amount of oranges. Now, can you guess how many oranges I must have bought if 5 of them are apples and the total is 15? So how many oranges must I have got? It's easy. I've got 10 oranges. So basically what we are doing is we're using algebra in our heads. We don't even realize that we are. So we are going to do this on a complex level in this chapter. But this is the base of algebra. This is a foundation of algebra. Algebra is finding the unknown quantities. This, like how when we add things, when we add 10 and 5, it's called addition. Same way, when we are figuring out an unknown quantity with respect to other information that we have, we call it algebra. Now we have another question. What is linear equation? So linear equation, first of all, let's go back to exponents or powers that you have studied. Here, if I have 5 raised to 2, so what is the degree of this number? It's going to be 2, right? If I have written a number 5 raised to 7, so the degree of this number is 7, or we can also say 5 to the power of 7. We call it 5 raised to 7, or we call it 5 to the, based on which language has your teacher taught you in, that it depends on 5 to the power of 7. So this is what we have studied so far. Right, so now in this topic, what is linear equation, we are going to be looking at the unknown quantities. Like say linear equation means two variables, means finding the two unknown values. Like we have x, it is variable number 1, and then we have y, which is variable number 2. X plus y equals to 2. Okay, now over here you can see I have not written any power for x and y, and that is why this equation is called linear equation. Why is it called linear? Because if you were to make a graph of this equation, it will come like a straight line. Suppose this is a graph, it will come like a straight line. Okay, or it could be like this or like this. Anyways, depends on the equation. Now if suppose the equation is x squared plus 2x plus 2 equals 0, in this case, as you can see, this is to the power of 2, and when it is to the power of 2, it's called quadratic equation. This is not for this chapter, but you can now distinguish between linear equation and quadratic equation. Okay, so coming back to linear equations, let's write one more equation of this. Let me write 2x plus 3y plus 2 equals 0. So this is also a type of equation, a linear equation. Over here I have the 2, which is also called a constant. I am soon going to make a video on general terms of in algebra. If you do not understand any of the terms that I'm using it here, please refer to that video. So this 2 here is called a constant. It is on the other side, but here it's with the other variables. Okay, so this, as you can see, this is a form of linear equation. Now from here, let me write one more linear equation. Just change the color to white. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Let me write 4x plus 3y. Let me make it 7y. 7y plus 8 equals 0. Now from this right here, we can now kind of make an idea about how the general form of linear equation can be. Okay, the general form of linear equation is ax plus by plus c equals 0. As you can see, it is matching right here. 2x, ax. A is here any number, any coefficient, it can be any numerical coefficient. Like here it was a 2x and here it's a 4x. Then we have by, where here our b is 3 and here our b is 7. And then the constant c, which is a constant number. So we have a variable in x, we have a coefficient in x, we have a coefficient with y, and then we have a constant. So this is what makes up a linear equation, and this is the general form of linear equation. So I hope you know by now what do I mean by two variables. Two variables here means two unknown values. It could also be, in this chapter we are also going to be studying three variables, but for now let me make you clear with the two variables. Here there are two unknown values, which is x and y. So x and y are the ones that we are finding. Two unknown values. This is variable 1 and this is variable 2. Alright, so let's look at this example 3.1 to kind of make it clear about how to form equations and how to solve them. Okay, so we have, the question is, the father's age is 6 times his son's age. So firstly, let's take the father as x and let's take his son as y. Let me write here, father equals 6 times his son's age. Okay, and remember we took the father as x. Let me just change the color. So we took the father as x and we took the son as y. So have we formed the equation here? Father, which is x, equals 6 times son's age, which is y. So we have formed x equals 6y. Okay, this is the first equation that we have formed so far. Okay, so this is the first equation we got. Now the second equation is 6 years hence, the age of father will be 4 times his son's age. 6 years hence. So let me just write here x equals y. Let me just write x and y on each side. And then it says 6 years hence, which means after 6 years. So we're going to just add 6 on both sides, because they both will age as 6 years has passed, right? father's age will be 4 times his son's age, means father equals to 4 times the son's age, whatever the son's age will be. Okay, so this is how we have formed the final equation. Now you might get confused thinking that I'm multiplying 4 to the son's age. No, this is not how we are doing it. This does not mean this is son's age. Only y is going to be son's age. Over here, what we are meaning to tell you is father's age after 6 years is going to be 4 times son's age. Okay, so do not think that we are multiplying to the son's age, and yes, it's common sense. The son's age cannot be more than the father. So do not think that I am multiplying it to the son's age and son will become older than father is. Okay, so this is how you can think. You have to think father's age will become 4 times son age, means father equals to 4 times. So father's number will become bigger. Like suppose if the son is like 10 years old, so father will be 40. So it makes sense. Father equals 40 years old. Okay. So let's get solving. So these are our equations, and in the first equation we have x equals 6y, and in the second equation we have this very long equation. We could do it by elimination method, but right now elimination is kind of a long way, so let's try to do it by substitution method because it's in front of our eyes. So here it says x equals 6y. Okay, so what I can do is I can substitute 6y on the places of x right here, so the entire equation becomes in the y variable. I can then find my y and then I can find x. I'll show you how. So it's written here x equals 6y, so we can substitute 6y here and write 6y right here. Okay, so let's do that. 6y plus 6 equals, let me just multiply it like this, 4y, and then multiply this as well, 4y plus 24. Let me take y's to the same side and the constant numbers to one side. So it will become 6y minus 4y. Why does this become minus? Because it is going to the other side, so it will change its sign. This is a positive number right now. When it goes to the other side, it will become a negative number. And then we have 24 minus 6, the same thing. It is positive here, so when it goes to the other side, it will become negative number. Now 6y minus 4y gives us 2y, and 24 minus 6 is, who can tell me that? 24 minus 6 is 18. Now this is in the form of 2 times y, that's why it is 2y equals 18. Now we have to find y, so I have to take 2 to the other side. But since 2 is bounded by y in the form of multiplication, the opposite of multiplication is going to be division. So what we are going to do is y equals 18 divided by 2, which is 9. So the son's present age is 9 years old. Okay, let me erase this so we can find the father's age, so we can calculate the father's age. Coming back to equation number 1, we see x equals 6y, right? So now we have y, which is 9. So x equals 6 into 9, which is 54. So x is father's age, right? So father is 54 years old and the son is 9 years old. All right, so coming to our next example, which is solve 2x minus 3y equals 6 and x plus y equals 1. It's better if we do this question in elimination method so that it makes it easier. Over here, substitution method is going to be complex. So elimination method goes somewhat like this. We have a two equation, 2x minus 3y equals to 6, and then we have our second equation, which is x plus y equals 1. All right, so here we have our equation number 1 and equation number 2. I need to multiply x and y into something that matches this one. Either this x should match the 2x or this y should match the 3y. I can multiply the entire equation with 2. Okay, so this way this will become 2x, this will become 2y, and this will become 1 times 2, which is 2. So that this and this will become same and I can cut them. So let's try that. Let me make it in a different color. Okay. So 2 times x, I'm going to multiply this with 2, yeah. So let me just write down the first equation here, 2 times x. This is, one second. I'll write this with orange. 2x minus 3y. This is the old first equation. And now I'm writing the new second equation, which is 2 times x is 2x, 2 times y is plus 2y because there's a positive here, plus 2y, and then 2 times 1 equals 2. They can get cancelled now. Let's change the sign. Because we are changing the sign because we can cancel this. This thing is cancelled. We get minus 3 and minus 2 as minus 5y equals 4. So y equals minus 4 by 5. We have our y here, and now let's find our x. Let me just make some space right here. Okay, so now that we know our x, which is this, so let me substitute this in the original, let me substitute it in this equation right here because this looks simple. Okay, so let me write here x plus minus 4 by 5 equals 1. This minus 4 by 5 goes to the other side, so it will become x equals 1 plus 4 by 5. Let's do our direct multiplication method. 5 plus 4 by 5, which is 9 by 5. So our x is 9 by 5, and so our x is 9 by 5 and our y is minus 4 by 5. That is all for this question. Now we are going to go to the 3 variables. I will be continuing the 3 variables in the next part.